Now, what do you think Christmas is all about? When you hear that question, you might be tempted to reach for your off switch, and now's the time for a quick snooze. I remember a teacher at school describing at the beginning of assembly seeing almost like a whole crowd of children reaching for their off switch to put themselves on snooze. You might be tempted to do that because you think, well, now comes the talk that says you've got Christmas all wrong, all those things you enjoy, no, they're all wrong. It's really all about Jesus. But wait, don't press the off switch and have a snooze yet, because I'm not going to give that talk. I'm not going to Scrooge-like try to put a black cloud over your Christmas. What do you think Christmas is about? Let's have a picture to try to get some ideas of what you might think Christmas is about. Here we go. This should help us. What do we think Christmas is about? Actually, the first one I'm going to suggest is the hardest one to get from the picture because it's what's not in the picture. What is not in the picture? There's not anything bad in the picture. There's no bad stuff. Yes, outside those walls of that house, there might be wars going on, there might be homeless people, there might be bad stuff happening, but it's not there in that room. It's not their focus. Christmas is a time when we tend to blank out the bad stuff. Blank out the bad stuff. Let's have a day not to think about it, but to celebrate. After all, what do our songs tell us? 'Tis the season to be jolly. So here it is at Merry Christmas, everybody's having fun. I take it you know these songs, don't you? Yeah? And you might think, well, I'll disapprove of that. No, that's not what Christmas is about. I'm going to disapprove of it. No, I'm not going to. It's all right to have a day to blank out the bad stuff and to celebrate. But even us doing this reminds us we want to blank out the bad stuff. We want a day to put it out of our mind because there is so much broken about this world. We want a day to at least pretend that all is jolly and all is well and everybody's having fun. But the bad things will still be there when Christmas is over. Our desire to blank out the bad stuff is a little pointer to a big need. You see, Jesus came to properly and permanently blank out the bad stuff. The Son of God became a little baby so he could become a man who died to take our sin, all that's wrong with us and spoiling the world, to blank out our guilt before God, to blank out all that's wrong on God's record of our lives, to remove the wrong tendencies from our hearts. And so one day, the world will be mended, with all the bad stuff properly and permanently blanked out, not just ignored for a few days. What else is Christmas about? The picture's still there, good. What else can you see that Christmas is about? Who do you reckon these people are? Well, I doubt it's a coincidence that there are two children and there's probably two parents and some grandparents. It's a family, isn't it? Isn't Christmas about family? Yeah, most people think Christmas is about family. For many, that's the centre of Christmas, is a time of family getting together. And there's no way I'm going to try to put a damper on that. God invented family, and we're meant to enjoy it. Sadly, again, this world is broken. And Christmas sometimes shows up the brokenness in our families. It might be loss. It might be there's been loss in our families. I wonder, have you seen the Tesco advert this year? It's a very strange advert. A world made of gingerbread. I don't really get a lot of it, but I do get this. There's a young man there missing his granny who's died. There may be loss. There may be families that have broken up or are riven with tension. But enjoying family, and even the difficulties we have with enjoying family, are a little pointer again to something bigger. We were made for family, a bigger and better family. Jesus came to bring us into God's family. I wonder if you noticed in John 1 that was read to us a minute ago, it described the Son of God becoming a human, and then it said this amazing thing. It said, those who believe and receive him are given the right to become children of God, are brought into God's unbroken family. What else is Christmas about? There's something here that I reckon the children have been thinking about for weeks. Yeah? My children, I think, are thinking about this for months. What is it? It's presents, isn't it? Christmas is about presents. Now, this one gets a lot of moaning and criticism. Some people say, oh, Christmas is all so commercialised. Children think it's all about presents. Oh, in my day, we just got an orange and we were happy with that. I'm not going to do that. I don't think that's right. I hope you enjoy giving and receiving presents. Why do we do it? Why do we give presents even to people who've already got everything? Now, I know there may be an element of you're expected to and you feel under pressure. Do you feel hassled getting the presents? Thinking, what do I get for that person? They've got everything, but I'm expected to. But I hope there's something more than that to it. Because giving presents is supposed to be an expression of love. Finding a suitable present to make someone happy is supposed to be an expression of love. And again, it's a little pointer to something bigger. The Bible says this amazing thing. It says, God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Or a man who wrote quite a large part of the Bible, he said this, he said, the Son of God loved me and gave himself for me. The Bible says a gift, God's gift of his Son, is the very centre of history and is what we all need. And it wasn't just a costly gift, it was such a suitable gift, because he came to blank out what's bad in our lives and in this world and to bring us into God's family. Let's have one more thing Christmas is about. Can you spot one more thing in the picture that Christmas is about that I haven't said? There are probably several things, but I think there's one pretty obvious one. Food. Isn't Christmas about food? Yeah, I think in all sorts of ways it is. Hands up, who likes Christmas pudding? That's about half. It seems to be over here there are a lot. Here almost no one does, and a few there. Christmas pudding is like Marmite, isn't it? I don't mean it tastes like Marmite, but you love it or you hate it. Who pours bread sauce on their Christmas dinner? Hands up. I find that very strange. Liquidise bread and pour it all over your dinner? What are you doing? Yeah. Do you prefer turkey or chicken, or are you really fancying have goose? Yeah? Why do we have turkey at Christmas? It's just chicken that doesn't taste as good and costs a lot more. Well, we have our opinions, don't we, about Christmas food, because food matters to us at Christmas. And I'm not going to be negative about enjoying your food and drink. The Bible is actually positive about feasting and puts feasting as a picture of something better. Feasting is a picture of something better. I try to link this to Christmas in the Bible. Children, here's a really easy question for you. What's the name of the town where Jesus was born? Someone shout it out. Bethlehem, thank you. Here's a harder question, might need adults for this. What does Bethlehem mean? House of bread. Bethlehem means house of bread. Interesting name. Now, that baby who was born in Bethlehem, the house of bread, grew up into an adult who said, I am the bread that came down from heaven. And he said, our food perishes, and eating it won't stop you perishing. To put it in Christmas terms, he was saying, however much you might enjoy your Christmas food, and he wouldn't disapprove of that, it won't keep you going through January, will it? However big your Christmas dinner is, you'll still need some more food through 2025. our food perishes and we perish however much of it we eat. And actually, if you eat too much, you'll perish quicker. But the point is, Jesus used food and feasting as a pointer to something better, that he said he gives what he called food that doesn't perish. He gives life to its full, joyful life that lasts beyond the grave. In fact, he said he gives beyond the grave feasting in his Father's house, heaven, enjoying God's good gifts with the bad stuff properly blanked out. So I hope in 2 days' time and on a few days from that, you enjoy blanking out the bad stuff and celebrating for a while with family and presents and food. But as you do, remember they are little imperfect pictures of something better. God has put in us a longing for something better. Jesus and only Jesus can give that something better. And he gives it to all those and only those who are trusting him.